let's jump over to the wideout position. You got a guy on your start list that I'm pretty excited about. I have him in a lot of my leagues.
I love this guy, Michael Pittman Jr. This is probably the only week I'll be able to put him in stardom and sit him, because after this, he's going to be too obvious, right? Wide receiver 17 last year. I think he breaks out this year with Matt Ryan under center. I talked to Reggie Wayne, their wide receivers coach. He says he's going to eat. I like the matchup against the Texans. The last time he played them, 6 catches, 77 yards, and 17 fantasy points. Another player that I like at wide receiver is Hollywood Brown. No Nuke Hopkins. That means he's going to be the number one option there for Kyler Murray against the Chiefs. And their defense was not very good against wide receivers last year. SI Sportsbook also has the game at an over-under of 53.5, so it should be a shootout in the desert. Start Marquis Brown.
Yeah, that 53.5 is the highest game total of the week so far, so definitely fire up those Cardinals and those Chiefs. All right, who are we sitting at the wide receiver position?
This one hurts because he's a former Cowboy, or maybe it doesn't hurt because he's with the Browns now, but I'm sitting Amari Cooper. I'm worried about Amari without Deshaun Watson. I am. Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback in the National Football League, and they play in an offense that is not conducive to wide receivers putting up big numbers. Just ask Odell Beckham Jr., folks. And the matchup is not great either against the Panthers. They've been tough against wide receivers, at least they were last year. So Amari Cooper is a fade for me, and so is Tyler Lockett. Last year, when Geno Smith started games, he was throwing the ball to DK. Not as much Tyler Lockett. And this is going to be a headache all year, folks. Tyler Lockett is going to be really inconsistent because of the quarterback situation. Geno Smith's the guy. He's a career backup. He proved in New York that he was not capable of being an effective starter in the National Football League. He's also got to play the Broncos this week. That's going to be a tough matchup. I love the Broncos defense in fantasy. I don't love Tyler Lockett.